Morning, everybody. Welcome to another round of coffee and questions. I'm out in the garage again before it gets too hot out. Like I said, I live in desert cities. The temperature's been 123, 124. It gets really, really hot here. But anyway, that's aside from the topic. What are we going to talk about today? Let's talk about blue shop towels. And are the ones from Harbor Freight any good, or is there something better? And my response to that is, well, it depends on what and how you're going to use them. And I'll go through some of the criticisms and tell you what's true, because I have some from Harbor Freight, and I also have a different brand here I buy from Scott. And I'll leave you the links below, because I get these off Amazon, ships for free because I'm Prime, and they show up on my doorstep, and I like shopping that way, especially when it's products that I know and I'm not too concerned about returning and stuff like that. Anyway, what do I think about the Harbor Freight, blue shop towels? I think if you're going to use them for like general messes, like around your garage, in your shop, maybe even inside, I think they're fine, and they do fine for that, and I have them for that. Now, if I'm waxing like the tabletops on my drill press, wood lathe, table saw, anything like that, after I've cleaned them real well, I'd use some Johnson's paste wax. Again, all the links are below on stuff that I talk about and use. I use those from Harbor Freight. No particular reason, it's just because if I was out that way and I stopped in the store and I know I'm running low at Harbor Freight, I go ahead and I pick up a roll or two. What about online? When you see the container that they come in, and you can buy these shop rags in those containers. Let me show you the advertisement. Now, we'll talk about that in a second. Now, there is a difference, and somebody made a note of this either in one of the forums that I belong to. Like I said, I belong to a couple of forums. I have a local club where we share and talk about tools and techniques and stuff like that. I put together notes, and if it's got good content, I bring it to you. Now, one of them out there said, well, they had read, and I'm going to read this to you, that if you're a mechanic or you're working on cars or machinery of any kind, you want to be careful, because the ones from Harbor Freight, the fibers come off of it real easy, and they can get into your engine and transmission parts. Now, that's not true of a lot of other brands. Now, whether you're using 3M, you're using Scott, or some other name brand, that doesn't happen, and you don't have to worry about that. And so they went on farther to say, well, if you wanted to test this, against another name brand towel, what you could do is you can squirt it with a carburetor cleaner or parts cleaner, and then take your blow gun and then blow against it, and you'll see it disintegrates and the fibers start going everywhere. Do that on the name brand, that doesn't happen. And then they said a simpler test, take 2 of these sheets or what have you, throw it in your washing machine. See what happens as the washing machine finishes. If you throw in the name brand and the Harbor Freight one again is going to come out like almost disintegrated and frayed everywhere. So those are things you don't want in mechanical parts and stuff. So I understand that, but I'm not a mechanic. I'm not working on automobiles, but I found that was interesting to know, because I didn't know that until somebody told me. Now, the containers, let me show you again the container one. Now, I think those are really cool, because if you got them, I thought, at first, until I checked into this, hey, you can flip it upside down. It comes with a mounting bracket. You can mount it in the wall. You just walk over and you pull the rags out, whenever you need them. And I thought, and then they sell the refills too, of course. Here, let me show you. And then I figured, hey, you just buy the refill once in a while. This is like a great thing. Then I started looking into it deeper, and out at the club they said, yeah, you might not want to do that. There's a couple of issues. Whether you leave it with the top up and pull them out, or from the bottom, they're wound, those paper towels are wound so tightly that when you go to pull them, they're very difficult to come out, and you're tugging on them, and sometimes you got to take the top off and actually play around and start to pull them out, and even then they turn around and they re-snag on you. And I thought, okay, They said the problem with it when you turn it upside down, you've only got like, it almost seems like a half a thread or a thread when you screw the canister lid on. So if you go over there and you're thinking about the difficulty in pulling out one of these shop rags and you pull just a little too much, the lid pops off and everything drops to the floor. And I thought, okay, well, that's not going to work either. Now, I have the other mounting brackets from out at Harbor Freight, the ones that got the nubs on the ends and it's got a magnetic backing. And I just turn around, put them in there like this, and I just pull them off one by one and use them. And I figured, okay, it was a really cool idea, good concept, but again, the quality in terms of, you know, screwing the lid on and the difficulty pulling out the rags, I mean, it's just not there like a lot of this stuff out of China. And I decided to steer away from it, but it was a cool product, I mean, in concept. Now, the other thing people made mention of, and it's probably true, I didn't know it till they told me, the inside diameter, the cardboard on these shop towels, they've increased the diameter of it so they don't have to put as many towels on it, and it looks to be the same size, but it's actually fewer towels. But they didn't decrease the price, did they? So just something to be aware of. It didn't stop me, you know, from buying them once in a while when I'm there. And like I said, I also get my other ones, the Scott brand, I get them off Amazon. So not a big deal, but you know, still I thought it was a little tricky to pull that on, you know, on the average, you know, consumer. You know, it's smart. I mean, you increase the diameter, but I thought, wow, you leave it up to them to figure out another way to pinch a few pennies out of somebody. Okay, now do I use these blue shop paper towels from Harbor Freight on projects? Yes and no. If they're welding projects and they're metal and stuff like that, yeah, I don't care. I grab them, I use them. But I also know if I'm doing any wood projects, I don't use them at all. And the reason why is, like I told you, it disintegrates real easy, and you're going to get all these little fibers all over the surface of your wood. You're going to get mad, because then now what are you going to do? Well, now you got to wait for it to dry and strip everything off and go through the process again. So that's one thing I didn't like. The second thing is, which is true, if you're using it, like I was using it one day, I decided to test it out on my own on a scrap piece of wood. I put mineral spirits on it and I was rubbing the top of a piece of wood like I was going to clean it before applying a finish to it. And some of the blue from the paper towel came off onto the wood, and I thought, okay, so this is my second proving point of why I would not use those when it comes to anything that you value in terms of finishing. And somebody said I don't use them for cleaning glass, like on an automobile or on the windows or anything like that. I tried it one day a long time back when I had some. I didn't like how they cleaned the glass. And it wasn't the glass cleaner, because sometimes I literally have just used a spray bottle of water and a shop towel. It just didn't seem to clean that well. Now somebody said, well, the surface on the Harbor Freight ones is a little bit rougher than the ones that you get on the name brand. Now that's probably true. Now I know with the shop towels I can feel it's a little softer, and I've used the shop towels to clean the glass on my automobile inside and out and on the shop windows and stuff like that, and it works fine. Is it a deal breaker? No. I mean, I would tell you, look, just understand the limitations on the things that I mentioned. Is it a good price? Pick up a roll or so. It's good for messes, like I said, but just remember things that it's not so good for using, especially finishing on wood products and stuff like that, like I said, or wiping it down. It's not going to do you any favors. It's actually, you're going to get real mad about it. But for the tops of my tools and all this other stuff and the Johnson's paste wax routine that I've described in past videos, it works fine. So again, it's one of those products where just understand the limitation. I wouldn't call it total crap. I would just say be, conscious of what, the do's and the don'ts with them, and then make up your mind if you want to purchase them. Links are below, like I said, on the Scott. I use those. I have it marked because there are times where it goes on sale. and usually I pick up 4 packs, or I think it's 2 packs or 4 packs. This one's a 2-pack. But I've picked up, sometimes the others. It just depends on the sale. All right, I'm the Home Handyman. I hope you click subscribe. Keep following me. Give me a thumbs up. I'll let you say hi and bye to my cats. I'll show you a quick picture. You folks have a great day. I'll see you again soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.